If you're chasing powder this winter, stay tuned for tips from Professor Powder himself. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News. First, chairlifts across the county are spinning, and local Nordic ski centers aren't far behind. Trails are already open at Breckenridge Nordic Center near Peak 8. Passes are $20 for skiers and snowshoers. Just be aware there is limited terrain. Also in Breckenridge, the Gold Run Nordic Center at Breckenridge Golf Club opens next weekend, December 2nd. They're one of the few centers in town that allows fat bikes on the trails. At Keystone, the Keystone Nordic Center is very dry. Officials expect it to open in mid-December. And then in Frisco, the Frisco Nordic Center opens today for Thanksgiving, with skiing on the flat fields only. There were no trails yet, but season passes were on sale. Also opening today was the Frisco Tubing Hill. That is booked solid tomorrow, but spots are available for Saturday and Sunday beginning at 9 a.m. Call the center to reserve at 970-668-2558. When Professor Powder tells you it's almost impossible to predict a powder storm in the Rocky Mountains, you listen.
By the time those storms get into Utah and Colorado, they're all broken up into bits and pieces, and that makes forecasting around here in Utah and Colorado anyway a lot more difficult.
That was Professor Powder himself, a.k.a. Jim Steenburgh of the University of Utah. He's been studying snowstorms in the Central Rockies for decades. He even taught resident powder guru Joel Gratz of OpenSnow.com how to watch the snow. So where is it easier to predict powder? Try the West Coast.
Predictability is higher, for example, in the Sierras and in the Cascades. They have a better idea when long-duration, heavy precipitation periods are going to come.
And when is powder the best? When Mother Nature mixes the ingredients just right.
If you want to have really good deep powder skiing, you really need what we call a right-side-up snowfall, which means the storm starts out producing some higher density snow for good flotation, and then it gets drier over time. That's what produces the best deep powder skiing.
The West Coast is already riding some deep powder. Mount Baker in Washington has seen more than 5 feet of snow since November 1st. That's enough to give the resort a 34-inch base. It's also enough to be dangerous. 2 snowboarders have been missing in the backcountry since November 12th. The search for them was called off 2 or 3 days ago. That's Prof. Powder's final piece of advice. When chasing powder, be smart and live to ski another day.
I do a lot of backcountry skiing, so I'm also interested in what's the wind going to do and those sorts of things from a safety standpoint.
In sports, the Redskins host the New York Giants tonight for a traditional Thanksgiving matchup. Kickoff is 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Phil Lindeman with Krystal 93 News.